You can put the prayer request in the bowl up here for whoever you're praying for. That'd be great, okay?
Thank you.
And she says, what's that? I said, wow. Okay. Well, welcome to everybody. I'm so glad you're here. It always looks like a fairly small group at church, but we have quite a few people on Zoom. And so that makes it very exciting when we have people in a lot of different places, okay? So we're going to begin with our prayer by our Reverend Ann Coleman, our wonderful associate pastor. So Annie, are you ready to?
How do I know that? I'm as ready as I'm going to be, I guess.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. You want to be where?
I guess I need to be behind the podium.
Yeah, I
right?
think it'd be great. Okay, here we go.
So you give me your camera for a change.
Laura, could you grab the lights, please?
And while you grab them, could you turn them off? Sorry. Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Independence Day. I hope you all are ready to celebrate today, and hopefully in a very, very safe way. Because right now, the things that are on my mind is it's fire season. And our Mother Earth is really having to deal with a lot of pain right now. Our Mount Shasta is on fire. Near Redding, it's on fire. I'm praying that in Oregon, I know there's several fires. I know my brother, who's a firefighter up in Eugene, Oregon, has said, you know, he's already been to about 4 or 5 fires. Most of them seem to be more central Oregon, thankfully, but, you know, fire season is starting and fireworks are a huge proponent of that. And not only that, but fireworks scare our animals. So if we can do something like, you know, that's a little bit, or if you have fireworks, do it safely. Don't do it someplace, obviously, where you can catch something on fire and so on. Really important. It's been really big on my mind lately. So as long as we're putting in prayers for Ronnie, can we put in prayers for Mount Shasta, please? I know that many sacred places are on fire right now. Thank you. So let's take a nice deep breath in. Close your eyes. And as you breathe in that love, that light, that joy, that love for Mother Earth, that love for Ronnie, that love for all of our community and for everyone in this world. Hold on to that love and light. And then take a moment and release it. Just with a sigh. And take all of your worries and cares and everything that could be in the way of your joy for today. And let's send it into a virtual pretend basket that's sitting right next to you, because that pretend basket is something that our Creator can actually take those worries from you and transmute them into something positive. There's no reason to hold on to them. Breathe in again and breathe out. Dearest Mother, Father God, dear Creator, we thank you so much for this day, and we thank you for our lives. We thank you for the lives of all living beings, even those that we're not even sure are actually living, such as our rocks and our trees. The earth is alive, and we so appreciate you holding on to that life for us and helping us to maintain the love of our earth and for each other. As we start this beautiful day together, we are here again to bless another beautiful baby that's a part of our community, and we're so excited about that. And Creator, we know that you are watching after this beautiful little child as you watch after her family, keeping everybody safe and happy. And we are all happy to be safe here together in this beautiful world. For us to be able to gather here in person, and for us, those of us that are gathered virtually, we are grateful for the gift of technology that we are all together. We thank you for an amazing world that brings us opportunities to give and to share. We know that you are the one that has always kept us going through this whole pandemic situation, through all the times that we were apart. You still kept us together. And you always have our back, Creator. You always are here for us in love and in light. We thank you so much for our first responders. Right now, our firefighters need some support, and all the pilots out there that are flying the planes to help put out fires. And we are so grateful for all those that are here to keep us protected as we too protect the earth. We want to celebrate today as a day of independence, and independence means being able to do what you want to do without harming another person, place, or thing. We always want to be aware of the fact that we are love incarnate and that we share that love and we are part of it. Share your independence with a smile, with the sharing of something, like if you have something extra that you can give to somebody who has less. Today is a day of showing that we have incredible rights and we want to take advantage of those. And this means also giving everybody the rights to do what they choose, not ridiculing them for being different from you. Creator, we know that everybody is the same. We are all love, we are all joy, we are all one together. So we give thanks for this, and we give thanks for you, and we say to you always, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Okay, if we could have the lights back on again. And today we have a very rambunctious little girl that we are so excited to bless and bring her into our church. And Brittany, if I could have you and Ashley and Isabella come up here. You can stand anywhere you want to, okay? We all rejoice with having a little one in the room and to bless her and make her a part of the Center for Creative Living. And I spent some time with her and she is a delight. She is one of these amazing little bright children that we have right here. And so we want to welcome her as a member of the Center for Creative Living. And Brittany, are you dedicated to helping take care of her and raise her to the best of your ability, teaching her spiritual ways that are positive and loving?
Yes.
And do you also think that you can be, as part of your family, a good example of her at all times so that she knows that she is welcome and she is a part of this community?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, parenthood involves so many responsibilities, and you can't do it alone. You need help, like with grandparents. You need help from loving people. We need help from so many. And this is Independence Day. This is a day that we talk about independence, but it's also a day we teach independence, where you can be who you need to be for you. We're not saying if you become a part of CCL that you have to sign an oath or anything. You just are being raised very gently and very, very supportively. Your example is the greatest lesson she can learn. We pray with you that you have your home and your family around that are the best that you know with this little one, okay? And what name has been given to this baby?
Isabella Renee.
Isabella. Hi, Bella. Yeah. And you promised that you are going to raise her to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Okay. And what we have here are guardians that step in case that Brittany is having a little bit of difficulty. I can't imagine any difficulty with Bella. And one of these guardians is Ashley. And Ashley, do you promise to step in and help raise this baby if need be? Yes. And do you promise to be a good example and a good spiritual mentor for her?
Yes.
Wonderful. And another guardian is Shira, and she couldn't be here today, but she has said that she too is willing to help and support and step in if need be to raise this little girl. And we're lucky to have grandparents here. And do you both, as grandparents, promise to raise this baby the best of your ability? Yes. And now, do you all agree, you members of the community, to help support and raise Isabella if need be, where her mom, Brittany, could come and ask for loving support? Do you agree to accept her into the community of the Center for the Center for Creative Living? Do you agree? If so, please stand, put your hands up and say, I lovingly support Isabella.
I lovingly support Isabella.
And her mom.
And her mom.
Yes, thank you so very much. We're so glad that you are here and you can do this. And we are going to give you a certificate that you can put in a baby book or something like that. And a copy of kind of what I said here so that you can, because you get up here in front of all these people and you don't hear it. You hear blah, blah, blah. You know, that's the way it always is. So we'll have a copy of that for you. And thank you so much, Isabella and Renee Yates. We are so glad that you are here. And we think you're a beautiful, loving child. And that's my hand, yeah. Thank you so much. And now we're going to have our speaker for the day.
Will you do meditation?
Did we decide to do meditation now? Okay, we are going to do, this is a community. We set things up and then we take it down and then we set them up again. So we are going to, one more time, turn the lights down and do a meditation. This meditation has been recorded by our wonderful Reverend Dr. Janet Childs. Not very meditative. Someone has their what on?
No, it shouldn't be. I turned everything off, but I guess it was
We
me.
have this wonderful.
Checking feedback. Sorry, I thought it was idiot proof there for a minute. Maybe we should just do a meditation?
Yeah, okay. I think, Ayleen, I'm just going to go ahead and we'll just turn that off.
Someone's microphone is on. Leave the meeting.
Leave the meeting. This one's still muted.
Okay, if the computer people could calm down and we'll turn that off, Ayleen.
If you like, I can do the meditation.
I can, because you're going to do the talk.
I know, I'm still trying.
Okay, one more time.
Reaching into the depths of our soul. Oh, we're reaching out to the world. Reaching for the deepest dream. Independence growing, it's on the way. I want to thank our wonderful Reverend Janet for the meditation. And now, if the lights could come back on, I'd like to introduce the Vice President of our parent church, Universal Church of the Master. We're so delighted to have Reverend Dr. Ayleen Augustine here to give us the talk. And she is one of those speakers that every time she decides she's going to be speaking here, I get all these hurrahs. Ayleen is here, so please welcome Reverend Ayleen. And where are you going to be?
I'm probably going to hang out over here. Ooh, echo, echo. Hello.
No idea.
Yodelay. Nice.
Guys, do you want chairs?
So,
We've got a place up here.
it's sort of like that game. There's this thing where you have headphones and it will repeat back to you what you say like a split second later. And it's amazing how hard it is to be able to, it's like, okay, I hear it and then I do it and then people have a problem talking. But we will make through because we will adapt. Because we're talking about Independence Day. We're talking about releasing things that don't really serve us. And the question is, well, first, I think we need to figure out what are the definitions, because everybody's definition of independence could be something different based on their personal experience. So, independence, people think of things like autonomy. They think of things like choice. They think of words like freedom and self-determination. The ability to decide what's right for you and to be able to act on it in that moment just because it's what you believe and what you feel. And, you know, we all have different areas in our lives where maybe we have a little bit more and maybe we have a little bit less. So today we're going to be talking a little bit, and I'm not behind the podium because I'm a little hobbit of a woman, so it's easier for me to do it this way. And that is my freedom. That is my choice. And when we are able to stand in our own choice, just because it's what we choose. You know, how often do we, you know, if somebody says it's like, oh, you know, why don't you come over? And as opposed to just saying, no, thank you, we think up reasons. We have to think up an excuse. We have to justify. It's like, oh, well, you know what? I have something else I need to do, even if we don't. Or, well, you know, I've got this other thing, even when we don't. But we feel somehow we have to justify our choices. And while it's always good to, you know, offer someone an explanation, no is a complete answer. No thank you is a polite, complete answer. And if somebody says, it's like, well, why not? And, you know, you could just say, well, I really don't choose that. And most people would say, oh my God, that's so rude. Oh, you can't say that to people. You can't say your truth because someone else may have a bad time with it. So when you, oh, there we go. So when you consider what is your truth, that is a part of your independence. Saying what you feel, saying what you mean. You know, often people, it's like, well, you know, you didn't want to do something, and then, you know, there's that kind of dance we do around it. And ultimately the person says, well, why didn't you just tell me you didn't want to? That's a very good question. And that's a question we each answer within ourselves. And each one of you is an autonomous being who is going to do amazing things and occasionally screw up. And that's okay, because that's how we learn. We are each working our journey in this life the best way we can. And when we can be able to step into our own abilities, to me, that is the ultimate goal of being in this world, of learning what we need to learn, is to how we can step up into who we're meant to be and be confident enough to share that with everybody, because you being who you are meant to be serves the world. It allows us to, hello, it allows us to be able to say, you know, I am me, because no one else is you. Everybody else is taken. So what are the things that keep us from being able to step up into our own autonomy? Well, one of the things can be the things that don't serve us when we cling to that. So, you know, there's a lot of things that can serve us badly. But remember that each and everything, whether it serves you well or doesn't move you forward, it's there for a reason. Because it was at some point a survival tool. And when we consider survival is more than just straight physical, or it could be a physical issue, but it's also spiritual, it's also mental, it's also emotional. It's also that, you know, the child inside of us, our inner child. When that individual is not feeling safe, they want to feel safe. And that can mean a lot of different things. Maybe it's, you know, in my case, it was tremendously unhealthy eating habits that kept me safe. Because what it did was it took me back to a point in my life when I felt safe. Food related to my mom. And I felt protected and I felt loved. So if I didn't feel safe, if that child in me didn't feel safe, that's what I wanted. I wanted that feeling, so I went to the nearest thing that could relate to that. For some, it is, you know, there's lots of other things that don't serve us. So how do we deal with it? How do we find that way of being able to say, I don't need that anymore? And my first thought would be, figure out why you did need it. What did it serve? How did it help you? And that's not something to take in sarcasm. It's like, oh yeah, well, you know, it what did it do for me? Well, it ruined my life and it did this and it did that. No. Look deeply as to what it did. It helped me feel safe. It was a way to deal with things when I didn't know any other way. It's something I learned as a child. And even if it didn't serve me later, in that moment, it helped me find balance. It became my eye of the storm. See, I'm a firm believer in compassion. Compassion not only for ourselves, but compassion for that part of ourselves that we don't really like, because that's a part of us too. Compassion for the part of us that experienced fear and chose to respond to that fear in the only way that it knew how. Each and every one of us do the best we can with what we have to work with in that moment. And sometimes, yes, ego gets involved. And we start saying, it's like, well, I've got it together. I've got my stuff together. I know my things. I'm excellent in my faith. And, I've got this. When we don't. One of the most powerful moments that I experienced, in the past year was having somebody look me in the eye and say, "You're not okay." And it brought me to tears. Because I was so embarrassed that somebody realized I wasn't okay. Because I'm the person who's always okay. Not only am I okay, I make everybody else okay. But I wasn't okay. And when somebody recognized that, like I said, at first it went into the ego place of, wow, I failed. I failed to show that I was, that I couldn't maintain this mask I was wearing. But the other reason I cried was because of relief that it was noticed. Relief that somebody said, "You're not okay." And I truly appreciated that because of the fact that it meant I could take the mask off, that I could step to the side of something that didn't serve me. I don't resent that. I don't say, it's like, oh, well, it was so dumb, it was whatever, or it was bad for me to do that. It wasn't what served me, but in that moment it did. And I'm grateful for that part of myself, my soul, my spirit that said, okay, we've got to protect ourselves somehow. Okay, let's do this. So having compassion for that part of ourselves that needs to feel safe, that wants to figure out a way to feel safe, no matter what. It's okay. It's not that, well, I had to stop eating because I was afraid. All I had to do was say, that is a choice. I have more than one. What is something else that I could choose? I don't have to, totally destroy that part of myself that felt that it needed to do that. And I don't even have to make that part of myself wrong. Because one of the things we tend to do is if there's something about us that we would like to change, we make it wrong. We make it bad. Oh my God, I had French fries. That's bad. I need to get rid of that. I like French fries. It's just a matter of how many do I have? When I have the desire to have certain foods, I will stop and I will say, okay, am I hungry? And if the answer to that is no, it's like, okay, then why else do I want this? I don't say, well, no, I've got to get that thought out of my head. I invite it to help me learn. And that's the best part about all those pieces of ourselves that we're not so crazy about. They are our best teachers. They are the part of ourselves that we learn from. And if we can learn to be gentle with those pieces, we can accept that, of course we're not going to make the right choices all the time. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to learn. So looking at what is it that you want to be able to move forward from. It's not about, letting something go. It's about evolving and gaining more tools. It's not that you have to take that tool out of the toolkit. It's just that there might be a better one you reach for. So when we look at that idea of being able to find that compassion for the person who needed that survival tool, and they could happen for a lot of different reasons. And people who experience trauma often will find that one thing that helps them feel safe. And maybe it's something that not everybody else agrees with, but it helps them. And it helps them for a reason. We can ask ourselves, okay, if I'm ready to move forward, what did I learn from this process? What did I learn from that particular survival tool? Because it was meant to teach us. And if we don't take time to figure out what something was meant to teach us, then often we miss the whole point and we repeat the lesson because we didn't get it. If everything is meant to teach us, to help us move forward, yeah, we need to be able to say, okay, what did I learn from utilizing that? I learned that I'm a survivor. I learned that I found a way, it may not have been the best way, but I found a way to help me stay in this world, to help me walk in this world in the best way that I can. We all have stuff that we would like to change about ourselves, but that can exist at the same time of accepting ourselves. And part of it is, it's like, well, if I give myself full acceptance, then that means that, that I'm not going to change. No. If you frame it that, what will allow me to evolve? Because I know I am a constantly evolving being. Every single day that I spend walking through this world, I am a different person when I go to bed than I was when I woke up, because I will have had new experiences. And by allowing that it's not so much that you're seeking to change something, is that you're evolving. It's like, you know what? When I was at this level, this is what I needed to be okay. But now that I'm at this level, there's all kinds of new things that can help me to become who I want to be. And even the concept of that can change. It's like people will come to me and say, well, I want somebody to give me my purpose in life. I want somebody to tell me what my purpose is. And my first question is, why? What do you want to do with it? Well, but, because if I know why I'm here, then, then I can be that and I can walk that. And I say, well, you could wait for somebody to tell you, or you could just decide. And, often people don't even realize it's like, you can decide your life purpose. You can pick as many as you want. You can be whoever you choose to be. My life purpose is to serve Creator in the best way that I know how each and every day. Second, to learn as much as I can about this amazing world around me and everybody in it, because I know my time here is going to be limited. So I'm going to make the most of it. And third, make a few people smile along the way. That was, it was like, okay, that's my life purpose. I chose it. I decided it. And I enjoy it. And if something else comes up that I want to do, I know I can add to it. But the experiences that brought me to being able to do that are probably more because of the things I messed up than because of the things I got right. We're constantly evolving. And when we decide, like, an old pair of jeans or an old jacket that, maybe it doesn't fit in the same way that it did, there's nothing wrong with it. If your scope and if your energetic feeling and if your connection with the world feels a little tight, well, maybe you've grown beyond it. Maybe you need a bigger jacket because there's more to you than there was, because of the fact that every single day you're learning, you're changing, your perceptions are growing. You're even in the faith that people follow. My faith has evolved so much in my life because of the different things that I've experienced. I've learned that there are so many different rivers that lead to the same ocean. So my idea of, even a faith has expanded exponentially beyond what I had when I grew up. When we think about, what was our mindset when we were 10? How did we view the world? What was earth-shattering? Having a homework assignment that was due that you were supposed to do all weekend, but that you didn't do, and it's Monday morning. That's earth-shattering. That's enough to say, you know what? I want to stay in my bed with the blankets over my head. Or having your heart broken for that first time when that really cute person, and you go to school and you see them talking to somebody else. That's enough to make you want to go home and put the blanket over your head. And as we get older, the world becomes much more complicated. As we get older, suddenly we wish for the day when all we had to worry about was a homework assignment or, that one person, talking to somebody else. But it's who we were and the tools we had and what we knew at that time. And yes, through those years, we make a lot of mistakes. We do stuff, and we look back and go, oh, one of the hardest resentments to let go of, and resentment is something that we can be able to let go of because it does not serve us. Is it okay to get mad? Absolutely. Is it okay to say what that person did is not all right and it's never going to be all right? Absolutely. When we take it into resentment, that means we want it to hang around. We want to relive that feeling, and we are going to tell ourselves a story that is going to keep the feeding into that. Well, they did this or they did that. Okay, they did it. And there is no force on this planet that will make that not be the case. It will not undo what was done. So the question is, what do we want to do with it from here? We can say it's like, what? This person betrayed my trust and therefore they do not get it back unless they do something pretty drastic to earn it. It doesn't mean forgive and forget. And I think it's important because a part of letting things go, one of the biggest pieces is forgiveness. And yet I find it interesting that a lot of people aren't clear on what their definition of that word is. It's very hard to forgive if you don't know what that means to you. What does forgiveness mean to you? Does it mean, we pretend like it never happened? That's some people's definition of forgiveness. Some people, it's, well, you have to. Okay, if that's your definition, because no definition is wrong if it's what works for you. My definition of forgiveness is that I will no longer allow a person, place, or event to inspire in me a feeling I don't want to feel. I don't want to feel angry when I think of this person. And if I still do, I haven't reached forgiveness yet. When I can look at the event or the person and be neutral and realize, okay, it was a choice. It was a choice that this person made and I grew from it. When I can feel that neutrality, I know I've reached forgiveness. And that is totally unique to each person. You can't say, it's like, well, one of the worst phrases that I know of is, well, you just need to get over it. I'll get over it when I'm done with it. If I'm not over it, I'm not done with it yet. I haven't learned everything. I haven't received the gift that I want to get. And that is so personal. It's so unique for each person to be able to say, you know what? I am done with it. I am okay. And yes, it is a part of the work. And as we know, the only time when work comes before, or when success comes before work is in the dictionary. We got to work at this. And it's about knowing at what point you need to be gentle with yourself. At what point is your resentment of someone else reflected on something that is within you that you don't like? I once heard that the things that irritate us most in other people are what we can't face within ourselves, or what we don't want to face within ourselves. Oh my God, that person they procrastinate, they never follow up on things, and then we think about every time that we did that. To me, it's sort of like that, the lane changing thing where it's like somebody changes lane in front of me and it's like, hey, I'm here. Oh my God, that person is such a jerk. Oh my God, they're so inattentive. And then 2 minutes later, I do it. And it's like, first off, thanks. And second off, it is about realizing that we are all sometimes that jerk who changed lanes without looking. And when we can be able to say, you know what, I accept the jerk within myself. I accept that I'm going to have some very human days. I accept that I am not always going to be patient or at my best. And I can accept that if I'm being reactive as opposed to choosing action, if I'm being reactive, I've got a reason for it. And I have to honor the fact that there's a part of me that doesn't feel safe. And to me, safe is the key, Because when we feel safe, we do not go into that reactive place. When we feel safe, we are able to let stuff go. It's like somebody makes a comment, and if you're feeling really good, you're feeling in your balanced place, somebody makes a comment and it's like, psh, whatever. And we walk away. We don't hold on to it. And on a different day when we're not feeling so safe, when we're not feeling so secure, that exact same comment is going to create in us like, oh my gosh, it's either going to create, feelings of anxiety or feelings of being judged or whatever. So it's not so much what comes in, but the story we attach to it. And if we attach a story of, you know what, this is just not one of my better days, and we move on, what do I learn from it? To me, the word safe means the state after finding equilibrium. When we're in balance, we don't worry about, being autonomous because we just are. When we feel safe, it doesn't really matter too much what other people say because we know it's like, well, that's an opinion. I'm okay. And it's hard because especially when a reaction has become a survival tool, it makes it really unbalanced to feel you have to manage without it. And sometimes it is just that, well, I'm really on my game and I don't have to worry about anybody and I am, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm perfect. And on the inside, we've got this little frightened child saying, no, we're not. We're not okay. We're not perfect. We, if we make a mistake, we're screwed. If we make a mistake, that's what people are going to know about us. We worry about what other people think. And we're pack animals. Of course, we're going to worry about what people think. And at the same time, we can use that as something to learn. Because also, when other people know that we're doing our best, know that we're struggling, and if somebody just comes up, occasionally I will randomly go up to somebody and say, I'm proud of you. And they look at me like, what? And I'll say, I'm proud of you. And often they'll start to cry or they'll show that emotion and they'll say, you have no idea how much I needed to hear that today. You have no idea how much I needed somebody to recognize that. And it's like, well, why did you say that? I said, because you are dealing with things that no one else knows about, that you are under a lot of pressure and that you're doing the best you can with what you've got to work with each and every day. And I am so proud of you for that. And yes, it can make a difference. And maybe if somebody hears that, they start to see it themselves. I mean, have you ever had anybody who you wish could see themselves through your eyes? Have you ever known somebody who is constantly, it's like they're berating themselves, they're looking at that negative side, and then, and you look at them and you go, oh my God, how could you not know how great you are? How could you not know how amazing you are? How could you not know how, just special you are? But they don't. And that's a part of the learning process because the best part about that is they get to learn it and be able to let go of some of the things that are holding them back. Self-judgment. Often we are our own worst critics. How about we let ourselves off the hook? How about we treat ourselves the way we would a friend who comes to us and says, wow, I'm really not feeling good. It's like, you know what? You've got this. It's okay. It's amazing how we can often bring out things for other people that we need to be saying into the mirror. If a friend came up and said, I just really, I've got this habit and it keeps beating me up and I don't know what to do about it. Would we tell the friend? It's like, well, that's just how you are. You're just this or you're just that. No, we would look at someone we love and say, you know what? You're doing your best. And if you need help to be able to do this, I'm here for you. And, if you need, maybe there's counseling that can happen. But whatever it is, we're in this together. I'm going to be here for you. Can we say that into the mirror? Can we look at ourselves and say, you know what? You're amazing. And I'm so proud of you. And it's okay because those pieces that you'd like to change, you will. So being able to claim that autonomy, to claim that, because nobody can give you independence. No one can give anybody independence. It is something that we claim. And once we claim it, we have to claim it every single day, because honestly, there are people who will try to take it away from you. There are people who will try to convince you that, that their way of looking at something, their way of expressing, is more than yours, that their experience is more important than yours, that they know what's right for you. And it could be really good advice. So you listen and you go, okay. And then once you hear them out, you say, does that resonate with me? Does that, and at different points in my life, I've had a lot of people come up and say, well, if you want to do this, this is what you need to do. As I said, in working on, weight loss issues, and I prefer to think of it as weight normalization, because it's not so much about the weight, it's about how I feel because of it. What am I experiencing physically? As a doctor, I look at it, it's like, okay, what are the physical things? What are the things that I feel at this point in my life as opposed to that point? So figuring out, it's not just about numbers on a scale. It's about what each person wants to be able to achieve. What state do they want to be in? It's like, okay, you want to lose 70 pounds. Why? Well, if I'm 70 pounds lighter, my blood pressure is better, and this and this and this. Okay. But if you just want to lose weight, it's like, oh, well, I'll be happier. Not necessarily. It's about what you do with it. If somebody smokes and, that is a habit that, would be good to work on. And they are not less of a person because they do, because it is their choice. And being able to step back from a desire, and it usually comes from a desire to help. Being able to step back from, I can fix you, to how can I help you achieve what you want? I'm a firm believer that every single person has their own answer inside of them. It's there. They just need the right questions to be able to reach it, and they need to trust that they have wisdom. They need to trust that there's something inside of them that says, we've got this, and here's how we can do it. And it's okay, because we are strong enough to do this. We are able to be resilient. We are creative. Being able to do that, being able to say that, sometimes it can make that difference between, just sitting back and looking at a goal and saying, I'll never reach that, to being able to say, you know what? I can do this. I just don't know yet how. Instead of looking at this goal, look down at what is the step directly in front of me that I could take. What is one thing I can do today to step into my own authority? What is one thing that I could shift a little bit? I don't have to throw away my old tools. I can just get a bigger toolbox. And being able to change what goes on in here, because that's where it starts. That's where the story starts. And acknowledging that part of us. I saw something, I think it was on Facebook, that said, I want to thank the me I was when I was younger, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. To appreciate the part of us that was scared and maybe reactive because it was trying to protect us. Everything in you is about self-protection, and what that looks like, we don't know. And maybe we go with a reflex. Maybe it means picking up a drink. Maybe it means picking up a bucket of chicken. Maybe it means lashing out. Maybe it means unhealthy relationships. But there was something about that felt safe. They talk about the fact that often people who are in unhealthy relationships go from one to another to another. It's because you know it, because you understand it. If an unhealthy relationship is something that you know how to navigate, people will go to that. Because a healthy relationship becomes something that it's like, wait a minute, I don't know the rules here. I don't know how to manage this. Our independence is up to us. It is, it's in our blood, it's in our will, it's in our thoughts, and it's something that we take each and every day, one step, and to be able to acknowledge the work we do, to be able to even look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you. You are the only you in all of the universe. You are the only you that has ever been, and the only you that will ever be. And what that does is it makes you special, it makes you sacred, and most of all, it makes you necessary. Because without you, the only you, the universe wouldn't be the same or complete. So appreciate the you that you are in this moment, because it is this you, warts and all, that is the foundation for the you that you are going to be, the you that you choose to be. So be gentle. Independence doesn't have to be a big, huge thing. It can be one little tiny whisper of, I'm okay. I'm proud of me. I can do this. If there's something you haven't done, put the word yet on the end. I haven't lost the weight I want to yet. I haven't got the job I want yet. Because by doing that, we create possibilities. And by creating possibilities, we create our autonomy and become that independent being that gets to celebrate its own Independence Day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
There's really no comments from the gallery about the sound, except for one thing. Donna Christensen had to leave early to go see Bill at the VA hospital.
Oh.
So can we please give Bill and Donna a lot of love and a lot of prayers?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, so sweet.
Keith is also having trouble breathing,
Oh.
and his machine broke, the doctor machine, and he's ordered a new one, and in this span of however long it takes to get it delivered, he's really suffering.
Oh. Blessings for
And Martha just said, I really need to be doing this.
Thank you, Martha. Or you're welcome, Martha.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a question.
Yes.
Your definition of forgiveness, can you repeat that?
Forgiveness is the point where a person, place, or event does not inspire in me a feeling I don't want to feel.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you so very much. And just take a deep breath. Yeah, you feel it. Feel that sense of you can be independent and you can forgive yourself for all the stuff that you keep thinking isn't okay. I love the sound of that. And Isabella, you were quite a good girl. Yeah. This is hard to sit that long. Yeah. And now you got a chair you can move around. This is fantastic. I want to thank you all very much. And this is a time that we do the offering. And what I would like for you to do is take your envelope, take your offering, whatever it is that you were going to put in the basket, and let's just put some energy on it. Let's just put a sense of, this is what I am giving, not just my love, my energy, my positive feelings about people, but I am giving some monetary support to the Center for Creative Living, because I believe that we are all independent thinkers. Whatever path we take is a positive one for us. And now we have a wonderful, wonderful saying that those of you who have better memories than I do, giving to the ministry from which we receive our spiritual support and nurturing is an affirmation in consciousness of the truth that spirit is the prospering power enriching every area of our lives.
And now, should we home?
We can't,
We can't even know.
Not until we get it cleared up with YouTube.
We cleared up with YouTube. Can we do our humming or anything else? We keep getting bounced.
I would say may it multiply for you millions.
Oh. At this point, we usually stand up and hold hands, but I think you all realize why we don't. We have two vents in here that are bringing in cool air. Lauren unfortunately was sitting right under one. She probably is getting somewhere where she can warm up. And in the back, Dolores, you're almost directly under one. Thank you. The air conditioning in here is a little bit weird. I think Sean is enjoying it back there. And Lauren, I was just saying that I hope you went somewhere and got warm. You were freezing up here underneath this. And we have in the back, we have coffee and we have sweet rolls and muffins individually wrapped and bananas that are individually wrapped. I just noticed the bananas back there. Thank you so much for the gifts that people bring. We'd like you to stick around, meet people, and have a good time. And thank you so much. We know there are many churches, many things you could be doing on Sunday.
Especially July 4th Sunday.
It's especially July 4th Sunday. We thank you for being here and supporting us, and let you know that we are going through a time of letting go of a lot of things in the building. So if you happen to see something you really like in the building and you think, I want to take that home, put your name on it and we'll talk about it. That goes for everything but the sculpture at the end and the crystal here, this geode, who have already been taken care of. And that big picture goes back to my house. But we so appreciate having you here. And instead of holding hands, what I'd like for you all to do is let's give Ayleen an applause. And thank you so very much for the Fields family for bringing in this lovely, lovely baby. We so appreciate it. And what a great gift she is. Just put her down and let her run. She really can't hurt anything. And if you give her a chair to push around, she has a grand time. Okay, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.